Hello there. What do you say we get back to our Pulaski project? When last we looked at this, the adze section was a fairly large disaster. The mass was there, it was pointing in the right direction, but it was really uneven, really irregular, and it was clearly going to take a fair amount of work. And I've done that fair amount of work. I've taken it up to a welding heat, and I've worked on it multiple heats to make sure that the cold shuts are all sealed up. There's no open cold shut where the twist was, so that's all nicely welded back together. And I've got the edge, or the adze portion, all cleaned up so it's symmetrical. It's still too small in the long run, but when I weld the tool steel overlay onto this, I'll make that a little bit larger, and that will add more mass to the adze portion. And we should be able to get it then to stretch out and look like the one on this sample Pulaski that I have. It really doesn't need a lot. This is still kind of thick. I'd come awfully close to that with a small tool steel overlay. But I'm going to add something to it that comes all the way back up almost to the eye, and that will reinforce that entire adze blade and make it a whole lot stronger and add the mass we need. But today I think what I would like to do is get back to the eye, and then if we have time, start drawing out the blade section in preparation for forge welding the tool steel in there. And then the forge welding of the tool steels will be another video. To do the eye, I have prepared a drift. This tapers in both directions. It's kind of a really short sword. Closest thing to a sword I've ever made, I think. And it comes pretty close to fitting the eye on the sample. So it's the right idea. It doesn't have to be exact. I'll make a handle to fit the one we're doing. But it's going to take a lot of work to get this drawn out and get this drift to fit the way we want it to. So let's get it hot and let's get to work. Now I can't drift this down through the hardy hole. That just doesn't fit. But I've got this secondary block down here, and that's kind of what this is for. That will fit through this great big 3-inch hole on here. If I was doing a lot of these, I'd make a special bolster just for this project, but for just one, I don't think I'll bother. And it's going to look like that a whole lot. Just a matter of back and forth between driving the drift down and then working on drawing the eye out. In the next heat, I think I'll probably go back to the other side and start drifting from the top. Well, that gets the eye in pretty good shape. It'll probably stretch a little bit more before we're done. I'd like it to be just a bit larger, but I think I'll go ahead and start drawing out the blade section and then finish drifting it as part of the welding operation. Under the Little Giant, I created just a little bit of an ear here, and I think I like that better. It gives it more of that hand-forged look. So the next thing to do is to draw out the blade. And this has a slit in it, and that slit will be where the tool steel goes. And as long as we don't do this at welding heat, that won't weld shut, and we'll be able to get the tool steel in later. We'll do a lot of this under the Little Giant. Getting the blade thinned out fairly well, but it's not widening much. We'll be able to correct a lot of this when we do the welding. We'll spread it out a lot more. But I want it going the right direction before we do that. You see, it's starting to look axe-like, a little off center. So I'll start off trying to get it a little straighter and then go back to peening this wider. I also want to keep the back relatively straight and let the underside spread out more. That's largely an aesthetic consideration. That may be about ready to weld. I'm going to put a little bit of a fuller line in there just because I like the look, and I'm going to use the hydraulic press for that. Drifting it at this point gets a little tougher because everything's in the way now. So I kind of hang it over the edge of the anvil or bring it up over the horn. This just gives me a chance to get a little bit straighter before we go to forge welding. There's going to be some trimming and grinding and such before that. Well, this is definitely getting there. It's the shape that I'm going for so far. It's going to get a lot more work done. When I add the tool steel here, it'll get a little bit longer and will give me more mass to spread just a little bit more. I'll do a lot of refining of this profile. We'll drift the eye some more. We'll add tool steel to the adds portion and it will stretch out some more and be bigger. So there's still a lot of work left to do, but in general, I am pretty happy with where we're going at this point. Saving this adze blade was worth the trouble to do it. And I'm just going to let this cool. There's no reason to worry about normalizing or annealing because this is just mild steel at this point. I have not added any tool steel yet. But that'll be the next step. Well, I think that's where I'm going to call it quits on this project for today. We've got it pretty well shaped to the point that it's time to deal with tool steel edges, and we will prepare those edges in the next video and get ready for forge welding. We should get them forge welded. We probably won't get the tool 100% done, but we might get it to the point that it's ready for its rough grinding, and that will tell us a lot about what the tool is going to look like. I'm pretty happy with where it's going right now. I think we've saved it. I think that twist detail, even though this one was clearly done with a twist, probably was not the easiest way to do it. I think there might have been an easier way, but after all the forge welding I did on it the other day to make sure that was done properly and sealed up, I think it's going to work out just fine. I'm not anticipating any problems, or I'd just start over again. As I had said previously, this is not really meant to be a tutorial or a how-to video. I think this is just too big a project to try and do a step-by-step. So there's a lot of this that's probably been omitted. You're not going to see every step on the videos, but I hope it's still educational. I hope it is still entertaining for you. Give it a thumbs up if you can. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know when we do more videos. You'll be able to see the completion of this project more easily. In the meantime, I do hope you can get out to your shop. Hope you can make something, maybe not something this big or this ambitious, but do try and get some time in your day to do something related to blacksmithing. If not, feel free to stick around, watch a few more of the videos, share the videos with your friends, but do stay safe, do wear your safety glasses, and we'll see you for the next one.